Okay, well, let's see if we can just get going here. Welcome to the first transaction review and calculator practice of 2018. Here it is, January. This is notequeen.com. If you're on this call live with me, you're one of my citizens of the realm, so welcome. And I'm looking forward to a really exciting year in my world, and I love sharing that journey with you, especially when it has to do with owner financing and notes. So before I get started, I just have my typical disclaimers that this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Should always consult your trusted advisors and all that bit. So yeah, don't blame me. If you're coming on and listening to someone who calls themselves the Note Queen, you know, just take your chances. Anyway, just a reminder for those, there's a way to create a free account over at notequeen.com. And it's a great way to where we've aggregated all of our free and paid content. Basically, if you go to notequeen.com and you go to this area right here, you can log in and start the process there. So kind of it looks like, for instance, links to resources page. A lot of times people ask me, you know, for ideas about note servicing, self-directed IRAs, what calculator do I use, other tools and resources, and thought leaders that I use. So that's a great way to just get in there and know where all my stuff is. Just a reminder that I am hosting a local meetup group now. It's usually the third Monday of every month. This month it is next Monday, the fourth Monday. And so if you are remotely local to Carson City, Nevada, the Reno Tahoe area, please come over at 6 p.m. I even feed you. I order pizza and veggies and sometimes even wine if people are up for drinking. So I've got a deal that I want to share with you guys that's been evolving for the last 3 weeks, and that I finally it's like herding cats. This deal has been like herding cats, high degree of batshit crazy, pardon my French. But I'm really excited about this new acquisition that I just picked up, and I was out on the ranch, like I was saying, just before this call, dealing with squatters and things like that. 288 River Road, Dayton, and this is east out on the 50, about 15 miles east of me. So here you can see it's along the river. So it's this property. I have my website over here, and I will show you that loan office. That's who we use for loan servicing when it's not serviced by a third party. So I'm just educating what I'm doing, and that's having some success. Investor Carrot set up this website for us, and I have a little video there. And basically, you know, if you want to sell your house, don't want to use a realtor. And so a lead came in on this back in December, and then I was going back and forth with a seller who didn't have like consistent cell phone service. Like, she had left the state. Her folks used to own this property. She inherited it from them. She lived in it for 2 years. Then she had some other things happen in her life, and she needed to basically disappear off grid in some island somewhere off of Washington. I'm not sure. But so just a lot of sort of chaotic situations, but it was hard for me to nail her down. Like, I would think that we would, you know, be ready to sign a contract and we'd have all these terms agreed to, and then I wouldn't hear from her for 2 or 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, it's just one of those things. But in the meantime, I kind of fell in love with this property. It's just, that's the barn in the back. It's got great views, even during winter. This isn't the pretty view time of the year, but it's got this big horse corral, barn back there. That's just the view in different directions. The well pump house is here, other side of the house, blah blah. You know, it's just gorgeous. And then there's a garage here with a live-in unit, like a granny mother-in-law unit. It's 3 acres. And there's actually a view of the Carson River. Really, it's kind of funky. This is some personalized hearth with rosebuds. I mean, it's really weird, but it just has some charm, like lots of potential. So I was telling her I would really love to hang on to this long term and make it a project that, you know, I can just keep. You know, I can use it VRBO or whatever. And if I want to use it, hey, I don't book it for the week and my family and I go out, or I have someone else having their horses there and they let me ride them whenever I want, but I don't have to take care of them. Something like that, you know? And she says, I said, but if I have to pay you all cash, you know, I can't pay you as much, and it means I'm going to have to flip it because, and by the way, the after repaired value, let me just put it here. I'm going to put it down here. After repaired value, let's say my favorite realtor out here, I do my best online, and then I always get her opinion because she's right on. She's great. So after repaired value is $420, and if I paid cash $225, which I was willing to pay $225 cash. Basically, what I would do here is I'd have a little skin in the game, not much, and I would borrow $200,000, and let's call it 8%. I do have people that are coming to the table that will lend me at 6 and 7, but I don't have lots of money at that rate. But I know I can get 8% all day long, especially if they can see that they're very secure here. And plus I bring some money to the table to close, and I have all my own money for rehab. You know, a typical term might be, at the most, I might make it 24 a month. Basically, I want to say, super quick, does someone know right off their head, what's 8%? What is it, 16? Who can do that real fast? Kathy, do you got your calculator out?
No, I don't. I'm not actually even in my office.
Oh, that's why I'm doing this, because I have a calculator right here. I wonder where there's a calculator.
There you go.
Oh, I'm really sharp today, boy. So basically, I don't need a financial calculator. I just can go times 0.08. 16,000 a year divided by 12, and oh, that's better than I thought. So my monthly payment would be $1,333, right? So and then I need to put in repairs. The minimum I would probably need to put in, if I'm just doing what I need to do to turn it around, not what my heart of hearts would want to do for all the fun things you could do, is 50 grand. So basically, call it, what would that be? So if I have to flip it, that's expensive money. I can't hold 8% long term, right? It's just makes it too hard for it to cash. So, but if I could sell it for $420, and I'm going to take 93% of that, because 7% closing costs, because I'm going to pay 5% realtor fees, couple points in closing costs. So I'll figure I would net $390, and I have to, let's just say it took me a whole year to turn it back around. What did I say that was? 16,000 in financing costs, 50,000 in rehab costs, minus my acquisition, or minus the loan. And then there's going to be other random carrying costs. Let's just call it 5,000, you know, trash, water, utilities. So I potentially, if all things go, if the market doesn't soften by the time I get it back on the market, and if everything goes as planned, that's over 100,000 as a flip, which is very respectable, right? And I could be wrong by up to half and still be fine on this, right? But I want to keep it. So